This is a 2,000-year-old fast food kitchen in Pompeii, and inside, archaeologists found this, an Egyptian vase. But how and why? The answer is not what you think. Imagine walking down a bustling Roman street 2,000 years ago. The smell of fresh bread fills the air. Street vendors call out their daily specials, and right there, on a corner in Pompeii, stands a Thermopolium, an ancient fast food counter where Romans grabbed quick meals between gladiator games and political debates. But here's where our story gets fascinating. In 2020, archaeologists working in northeastern Pompeii made a discovery that would bridge two ancient superpowers, Rome and Egypt. Inside one of these snack bars, they found something completely unexpected, an Egyptian glass vessel that shouldn't have been there. Not displayed in a garden as decoration, where these precious objects usually ended up, but right in the heart of the kitchen, holding food. Today, we're diving deep into this remarkable find at the Thermopolium in Regio 5, and then exploring similar discoveries that reveal the hidden connections between ancient civilizations. This is the story of how a single vase can rewrite our understanding of cultural exchange, trade networks, and daily life in the ancient world.
Let's set the scene. The Archaeological Park of Pompeii announced this groundbreaking find in their ongoing excavation of Regio 5, the northeastern section of the ancient city. This wasn't just any random dig site. Regio 5 has consistently produced some of the most spectacular discoveries in recent Pompeian archaeology. The Thermopolium itself was first uncovered in 2020, and what made it special from day one was its exceptional state of preservation. When Mount Vesuvius erupted on August 24th in the year 79 Anno Domini, it didn't just destroy Pompeii, it froze it in time. Volcanic ash and pumice buried the city so quickly and so completely that we've been able to recover not just buildings and artifacts, but actual moments in time. Bread still in ovens, bodies frozen mid-flight, and in this case, a fully stocked snack bar, complete with its inventory.
Now, let's talk about our star artifact. The Egyptian vase discovered at the Thermopolium's center is made of glass paste, a technique that the ancient Egyptians perfected long before the Romans. This wasn't ordinary glass. Glass paste, or faience, involved creating a ceramic core and covering it with vitreous glazing, producing brilliant colors and durability that genuine blown glass of the period couldn't match. What makes this vessel particularly extraordinary is its decoration. The surface features intricate hunting scenes rendered in classic Egyptian style. We're talking about the artistic conventions that had been refined along the Nile for millennia. The profile views, the hierarchical proportions, the symbolic animals. Researchers have traced its production to Alexandria, the great cosmopolitan city founded by Alexander the Great in 331 before the Common Era. Alexandria, by the 1st century of the Common Era, was the intellectual and commercial hub of the Eastern Mediterranean. Its famous library, its lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and its workshops producing luxury goods made it a manufacturing powerhouse. These Egyptian glass paste vessels were luxury items, typically exported throughout the Roman Empire as status symbols for the wealthy. Here's where it gets interesting. According to the Archaeological Park of Pompeii's statement, these types of vases were usually found as decorative elements in Pompeian gardens. The elite would display them among fountains and statuary, showing off their sophisticated taste and international connections. But this one? This one was found right in the center of the Thermopolium, and all evidence suggests it was being used as a food container. Recent excavation work has revealed that this wasn't just a simple food counter. The Thermopolium was part of a larger commercial complex that tells us an incredible amount about Roman urban life and business operations. First, there's the Thermopolium itself. These establishments were everywhere in Pompeii. Archaeologists have identified over 80 of them throughout the city. The typical design featured a masonry counter with large ceramic jars called dolia embedded into it. These jars held everything from hot soups and stews to wine and sauces. The counter faced the street, allowing customers to grab food on the go, though some had small dining areas for those who wanted to sit. But the recent work revealed something more complex. Archaeologists discovered a first-floor apartment directly above the snack bar. This is where the Thermopolium manager lived. Think about the business model here. The owner or manager literally lived above the shop, able to start work at dawn and keep an eye on operations throughout the day. This vertical integration of living and working space was typical of Roman urban commercial properties. Next door, they found a service area. This is where the real food preparation happened, the chopping, cooking, and storage that supported the front-of-house operation. Roman kitchens were surprisingly sophisticated, with built-in stoves, running water systems, and storage areas for ingredients. And here's a detail that shows Roman urban planning sophistication. A small bathroom positioned right to the side of the food shop's doorway, opening onto the alley of the balconies. Romans took public sanitation seriously. Even small commercial establishments had facilities for workers and customers.
So why does this Egyptian vase matter so much? Researchers are now planning detailed analysis of its contents. Using modern archaeological science, residue analysis, organic chemistry, isotope studies, they hope to determine exactly what food was stored in this vessel. This analysis could answer several fascinating questions. Was the vase repurposed for storing exotic Egyptian ingredients? Were merchants selling Egyptian specialties, date paste, specific spices, preserved fish sauce from the Nile? Or was this simply a case of a practical Roman businessman using whatever containers he had available, with no regard for their original purpose or value? The find also raises questions about trade networks. How did this Alexandrian product end up in a working-class snack bar in Pompeii? Did it come through official trade channels? Was it purchased secondhand? Was it a family heirloom that the Thermopolium owner inherited? And finally, what does it tell us about cultural attitudes? The Romans were famous for adopting elements from conquered cultures. They didn't destroy Egyptian traditions, they collected them, displayed them, and apparently used them in their daily lives. This vase, sitting in the middle of a snack bar, might be the perfect symbol of Roman cultural cosmopolitanism.
This Egyptian vase in a Pompeian Thermopolium isn't an isolated case. Archaeological discoveries around the world have repeatedly revealed these unexpected cultural connections, these moments where civilizations touched and influenced each other in ways that surprise us. Let's explore similar discoveries that illuminate the hidden networks of the ancient world. The Pompeii bread and bakeries. Staying in Pompeii for a moment, let's talk about the commercial bakeries that supplied these thermopolia. Archaeologists have identified over 30 bakeries in Pompeii, and they've given us incredible insights into ancient food production and distribution. The most famous is the Bakery of Modestus, discovered in the 18th century but continually studied ever since. Inside, researchers found actual carbonized loaves of bread, still sitting on shelves where they were placed nearly 2,000 years ago. These weren't just simple round loaves. The bread was scored into 8 sections, a design that made it easy to break and share, ancient portion control. But here's what connects to our Egyptian vase story. Analysis of these bakeries revealed that Pompeian bakers were using grain from Egypt. The Roman Empire's breadbasket was the Nile Valley. Massive grain ships called corbita sailed from Alexandria to Ostia, Rome's port, carrying thousands of tons of Egyptian wheat.
From there, it was distributed throughout Italy, including to cities like Pompeii. So when Romans bought bread from a Pompeian bakery, they were consuming Egyptian grain. When they added olive oil from Syria or garum fish sauce from Spain, they were participating in a Mediterranean-wide food network that would rival modern globalization. The bakeries also show evidence of using honey from different regions, nuts from various provinces, and spices from as far away as India. This interconnected food economy makes our Egyptian vase seem less unusual. Pompeii's snack bars were already serving ingredients from across the known world. Why not use serving containers from those same places?
The Antikythera mechanism. Let's jump to one of the most mind-blowing archaeological discoveries ever made. In 1901, sponge divers working off the Greek island of Antikythera discovered an ancient shipwreck. Among the statues and pottery, they found a corroded lump of bronze that would change our understanding of ancient technology forever. This object, dated to approximately 100 to 200 before the Common Era, turned out to be an analog computer. The Antikythera mechanism, using a complex system of bronze gears, it could predict astronomical positions, eclipse cycles, and Olympic Games schedules. The level of engineering sophistication wouldn't be matched again until the 14th century of the Common Era. But here's the connection to our story. The ship that carried this device was traveling from the eastern Mediterranean, possibly from Rhodes or Pergamon, to Rome. It was carrying luxury goods from the Greek world to wealthy Roman patrons. Just like our Egyptian vase, this was an artifact of cultural exchange, of Roman appetite for Greek scientific knowledge and craftsmanship. The Antikythera shipwreck also contained glass vessels, bronze statues, fine pottery, and luxury furniture. It was essentially a floating showcase of Mediterranean interconnection, Greek technology, Roman wealth, and trade routes that crossed cultural boundaries as easily as they crossed seas.
The Fayum mummy portraits. Back to Egypt, but in the Roman period. In the Fayum region of Egypt, archaeologists have uncovered over 1,000 mummy portraits, dating from the 1st to 3rd centuries of the Common Era. These are painted panels attached to mummies, showing the deceased's face in stunning, lifelike detail. But here's what makes them special. They're painted in encaustic technique, using wax from bees, a method used by Greek and Roman artists, not traditional Egyptian embalmers. The style is Greco-Roman naturalism. The clothing and jewelry are Roman. But the funerary practice, mummification, is purely Egyptian. These portraits are perfect symbols of cultural fusion. Egypt had been conquered by Alexander, ruled by Greek Ptolemies, and then absorbed into the Roman Empire. By the 1st century of the Common Era, Egyptians were Romans, Romans were adopting Egyptian practices, and cultural boundaries had blurred almost beyond recognition. Our Alexandrian vase makes perfect sense in this context. It was made in a city where Greek, Egyptian, and Roman cultures had merged. It was shipped to Pompeii, where it was valued enough to purchase, but practical enough to use. It represents not cultural appropriation, but cultural integration, the genuine mixing of Mediterranean civilizations into something new.
When researchers complete their analysis of the vase's contents, they might find lentils from Egypt, olive oil from Greece, or garum from Spain. Or they might find something completely unexpected, a food combination we've never imagined, a culinary fusion that predates our modern food trends by 2 millennia. Whatever they discover, this humble food container from a Pompeii snack bar will continue to remind us that the past is never as simple as we think. Every artifact has a story. Every discovery opens new questions. And sometimes the most ordinary objects tell the most extraordinary tales.
The Thermopolium manager who lived above his shop, who served customers on the alley of the balconies, who stored his ingredients in that beautiful Egyptian vase, he was living in a world as connected and complex as our own. He probably never thought his food container would become famous. He was just running his business, feeding hungry Pompeians and getting through the day. But that's the magic of archaeology. It takes ordinary moments and freezes them forever, turning daily life into historical evidence, transforming a simple vase into a bridge between cultures, and reminding us that the ancient world was full of surprises, just waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Pompeii's hidden treasures and the remarkable discoveries that connect ancient civilizations. If you enjoyed this exploration of archaeological mysteries, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what ancient discovery you'd like us to explore next. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, history is never as distant as we think.